Thank you so much for clicking. I'm so excited to have you here. Today I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful Ghana themed AirPod Pro cover. I love it. You know, I'm incorporating the tapestry into very small art pieces, okay? This is a simple project and it requires a lightweight yarn. So if you are not a fan of lightweight, unfortunately the grade is going to be a little bit big. I'm using simple red, gold, green, black Ghana grid. And guess what? The first original version right here had the Ghana flag in front and the Jamaican flag at the back. It's so cute. And so this tutorial will be focusing on the Ghana flag. The next tutorial will be a Jamaican themed one. I'm bringing this Afrocentric vibes to your wardrobe. So if it's something you are a fan of or you love tapestry art and everything Afrocentric, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe because there's more to come.
For this project, we are going to need some safety scissors, some lightweight acrylic or cotton yarn. I'm using my yarn stash. I made bobbins of it, red, gold, green, and black. The yards of the black should be more, since most color you use for the AirPod will be black. You need a smaller hook size. I'm using the 1.6mm hook. You need a darning needle, and of course you need your grid. I use the grid software to get my pixelated image.
Okay guys, I recommend that you size up to 2.0mm hook for the hook size. I used gridjan to generate this particular grid. However, you can use Stitch Fiddle. I have separate tutorials taking you through how to use this software to prepare your grid boxes in order to work your tapestries. So now let's dissect this Ghana grid. It contains a front and a back. So whatever you repeat for the front section of the AirPod, you repeat the same thing for the back. There are 4 primary colors, hence the red, gold, green, black bobbin I've already prepped. Please check out my previous tapestry tutorials to know what exactly bobbins are. In summary, bobbins help you change colors easily instead of carrying it along throughout. Check the link in the description to learn more about this. However, you can see that I've numbered my grid boxes, which will make color changes easier. And I'm going to read from right to left. So starting from the bottom, you can see that I'm focusing on the green section. Green is the first primary color that we'll be working on. The green section contains a total of 4 rows. Now let's take a look at the yellow section. The yellow section contains the Black Star logo. It contains a total of 5 rows. The red section also contains a total of 5 rows. And so the overall total of the grid boxes for the width is 12 grid boxes. The total number of rows overall for this Ghana grid is 12 rows. 4 rows for the green, 5 rows for the yellow, and 5 rows for the red. Now that we are done with this dissection, let's start the first process of this AirPod Pro cover.
Before I forget, you also need a lighter. This is not compulsory. However, since I use acrylic yarn, I like to burn the edges or the surfaces of the yarn to give it a more clear look. To begin, grab your 1.6mm hook and your black yarn. We are going to work on the base of the AirPod cover. Make a slip knot. To make a slip knot with your 2 fingers facing your face, you place your strand on the finger. You put your thumb to help you hold it in place. You wrap the long strand from the back and cross. You grab your hook. You insert your hook in the first loop, making sure your hook, the mouth of your hook is facing down. Now you go upward and grab the next hook. Okay, so make sure the hook is right on top of the next loop and you pull through. You create this loop. Now you can release from your finger. You realize that this is loose. You are not done with your slip knot. You grab the long and shorter tail and close it up by pulling the strand 2 together.
To adjust it once again, we are going to pull the longer strand and make sure the loop is secured on the hook to start chaining.
And so that is how I make my slip knot. Once you adjust your loop, it should be, not too tight, not loose. We are going to make a chain of 11. And then you add an extra one, making 11. So you're making 10 chains plus 1, which will give 11. The plus 1 will serve as the turning chain, and you know what I mean shortly. So now you are going to target your second chain space. So this is the first one and the second one. So in your second chain space, you are going to insert a single crochet stitch. And then we are going to insert one single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Afterwards, you are going to make a gap that will go underneath the AirPod cover, and so you are going to chain a loose chain of 2. So 1 and 2, not too loose, not too tight. We are going to skip the next 2 space, and then in the third we are going to single crochet. And then we are going to place 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. You realize that you have 1 chain space, and that is when your first increase happens. You are going to insert 3 single crochets into the chain space. So guys, in order to be economical, I mostly use leftover strands from my previous projects as stitch markers. So there's this extra strand I cut off. One is in yellow, one is in lemon green, and that will be the stitch marker for this project. So just pardon me, and this is a habit I really am into. I mostly misplace my stitch markers, so this is what I mostly find more grounding for me. And so this is the last chain space. We are going to do an increase. However, in the second single crochet for the increase, we are going to place a stitch marker, since we want our audience to know the exact middle of the 3 single crochet. So let's go make our first single crochet into the chain space. So 1, so insert, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through. However, I'm going to grab my stitch marker, which is this strand, and I'm just going to insert my hook into the single crochet I just made, and just grab the strand and pull through. Okay, so in the same exact space, we are going to single crochet, which makes our increase. And what happens is that we have marked the second chain single crochet in the space, and that is what is important. Now you are going to turn to the opposite side. You know the single crochet automatically turns you to the opposite side, and you are going to work your single crochet stitches throughout. Now it's 1 single crochet in the next 3 spaces. So 1, 2, and 3. You realize that I am carrying this loose strand along, because I don't want to weave in the end, and so I place it on top of the project. Now we are back to the 2 chain spaces. In that 2 chain spaces, we are just going to place a total of 2 single crochets in. So 1 and then what, 2. And then afterwards, we are going to place 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and then what, 3. Now you can cut your strand because you have crochet over it and it's secure. So you grab your safety scissors, the short strand, and then we are going to work our next increase. So you can realize that there's one last stitch in this phase, and we are going to do 3 single crochets in the last chain space, just as similar to this, and we are going to always stitch mark the second. So what do I do? I'm going to insert a single crochet there in the last space. So in the same space, an extra single crochet, and this time I'm going to stitch mark that one because we have to know the exact middle of the stitch. I don't tie a knot, I leave it hanging, but if you are scared it will go off, you tie a loose knot. So you are not done in the exact same space, an extra single crochet, and you are done with the first section of your base. So you are going to work towards to the lemon green aspect. So for the next pattern, we are going to place 1 single crochet into the next 9 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see the chain spaces here? You are going to work in the chain spaces, not the gap or hole. So 5 and what, 6. Then you go back to mainland. 7, 8, and what, 9. Okay, and now you are going to do your next increase. For the next increase, you are going to place 2 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Remember the 3 stitches we made as the increase, that is what you are increasing again. So this next stitch, you are going to place 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. We are back to where the stitch marker is. We are going to slightly remove it. Okay, it will go back there, relax, and then a stitch. You are going to place a total of 2. However, make your first single crochet there. So 1, and pause. Grab your stitch marker, and then you go back again and place your extra single crochet in the same exact space. So in the next stitch, we are going to place a total of 2 again. So 1 and 2. And then you are done with your increase. Okay, we are now moving towards this sector to the yellow stitch marker part. So now you are going to place 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. For the next section, we are going to increase just like how we did here, and so it's 2 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So go into the next stitch with 2 single crochet. So 1 in the same space, another single crochet, 2. Now pull this strand away, you grab it again. You are going to make 2 single crochet stitch. However, make your first single crochet inside, and then grab your stitch marker and insert it back into the single crochet you just made. And then you are going to add an extra single crochet into the same exact space. and then go to the next stitch and place 2 single crochets. And you are done with your increase. So now you are supposed to move towards this section, so you are going to place 1 single crochet in the next 9 stitches. Nicely done. You are getting to the section of increase. This time you are not going to do any increase. Follow my lead. So you are going to place 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. 1, 2. You realize that it was the 3rd space that the loop was in, so you remove it slightly. Very soon you will not be needed it, but it's important to keep. So this is the 3rd stitch. So 3, you place it back like this, and then the 4th single crochet in the next. Okay, so just insert and pull through. When you have 2 loops, do not yarn over and pull through the 2.
So now it's left with the green portion where we'll be incorporating the green bobbins. The green aspect contains 12 grid boxes for the width, and so get your green bobbin yarn ready. Let's start with the tapestry aspect.
And so the green version consists of 12 grids, as said earlier on. You are going to grab one of your green bobbin. This is the one I'm working with, and then you are going to create a loop. So this is your extra strand, little extra strand, and then you just place it on the hook and pull through. Now you are going to make sure this black yarn or this black bobbin is flying along. You are not sending it through, you just drop it down, and then we are going to concentrate on the green yarn. Okay, so now make sure you insert 1 single crochet into the next 12 stitches in green, of course. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. However, for the 12 stitch, you are not going to yarn over and pull through. You make sure you always have 2 loops since you'll be making color change. Now grab your next black bobbin. I have my next black bobbin here. That is why it's important to make bobbins. You see the previous one is flying along here. So now you are going to make this interesting increase, and please pay attention. So what you are going to do is yarn over and pull through the 2 loops you had on the hook in green, and you are going to continue with black. Of course, this strand will be crocheted on, and so you don't need to weave in any strand. So for the next stitch, you are going to place a total of 2 single crochets inside. So 1 and 2. Okay, and then you turn to the next stitch. I'm just going to place a single crochet there. So insert and pull through. However, you are not going to yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. You are going to hold your strand, bring it forward, and make sure they are lying at a safe spot so that they don't tangle. You grab your next green bobbin, have them always around, and then we are going to leave some little strand, grab the hook and pull through the 2 loops you have on in black, and then you are going to continue with your single crochet. This time around, just as similar as you did here, which is 1 single crochet in the next 12 stitches. So this is going to be 1. You see I'm crocheting under the strands of both the black and the green. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
the final one, which is what, 12. Okay, but you make sure you always leave 2 loops on the hook. This time around, you see the stitch marker was just the next stitch. You can just take off the stitch marker, grab the previous, remember the bobbin, the incorporation we did here. It is not going to waste, you are going to utilize it. And so you are going to yarn over and pull through the 2 loops left in the green. And even though there's this strand, we are going to crochet over it. So we are going to place 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then make sure everything is in place, your stitches are neat, and then you realize that you have made your first row in green. And you realize that since I'm about to change color immediately, I didn't finish up the last single crochet. Grab this black and bring it in front as always, the loop, okay, so that it makes it convenient to change color. Now this is a very interesting way I change my color for the green. You see this last strand of the green, you see we finished it off. Since we are working it in rounds, we finished it very far apart. Don't worry, all you have to do is just wrap the extra yarn and pull through. Okay, and then you see you create this long strand, you just pull to secure, make it loose, don't make it tight, not too loose, not too tight. Make it in such a way that the strand will be relaxing right on the stitches you have made. And then you are still going to make 1 single crochet in the next 12 stitches. For your information, for the green parts, we have 4 regular rows in green. So this is the front aspect, this is the back aspect, and so that's how simple it is. 1, 2, you see I'm covering the yarn along. 3, you see the yarn is here, but I'm crocheting on it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and what, 12. You know the 12 one, you're not going to finish it off. You make sure you have 2 loops. You bring your bobbin, make sure it doesn't tangle, you bring it in front, and now you work with the black yarn. So your black yarn is very convenient to change. You wrap and pull through the 2 loops, and you are going to place 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and the third one we are not going to finish it off. Okay, and so we are the back portion of the green. It's very similar to the one we just made, 12 single crochets in green. However, you remember the yarn is far apart somewhere here. Okay, so you are going to wrap and pull through. Okay, make sure it's a little bit resting on the stitches, and you are going to place 1 single crochet in the next 12 stitches in green. So I'll meet you when I'm done with a total of 12 single crochets. So here we have it, 12 single crochet as usual. In the last loop, you are going to make sure you have 2 loops. You'll not finish it off, bring it in front, grab your black, and as usual it's going to be 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then you bring your yarn, your black yarn, in front again to make yarn changes convenient, because you see this being in front helps you to change the colors. And so you are going to the 3rd row, row 3 in the grid according to the grid pattern, not the overall base. Okay, so according to the grid pattern, we have made 2 rows so far. This is going to be row 3 for the round section. Row 3 is the same as what we did for row 1 and 2, 12 grid patterns. When you get to the black part, it's always 3 single crochet in the next 3 stitches in black. And so we are going to do it here. 3rd row, I'm going to leave it to you to do it and then we work on the yellow part with the black star, which is a little bit complex, not difficult, but that's the important aspect to take notice. So go along 4 rows for the green, and I'll meet you somewhere here when we have 2 extra rows, and then we begin. So remember, this is the front and this is the back. You can stitch mark that place so that you don't get confused, and make sure you always know the front and the back portion.
And so I added 2 more rows, making the green section a total of 4 rows, still 12 grids throughout for the front and the back. And you can see the stitch marker is, and so this was the back. So after single crocheting 12 in green, I went ahead to single crochet 3 in black, and I stitch mark the sides. Okay, so we are back to the front and we are going to the 5th row. The 5th row is going to be in yellow and a little bit detail of the black star. So as you can see, I didn't finish off the 2 loops. It's on the hook, and I'm going to cut the green yarn, leaving a little bit strand to crochet over. So I cut it nicely. I put the bobbin away for another project, and then I bring my yellow. I'll also be needing black, so I bring a black bobbin around instead. So the pattern says 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches in yellow, and you can see it on your screen. So we'll be reading it as such. I have numbered it nicely. We'll be reading the grids nicely. Grab your yellow strand and pull through, okay, leaving a little bit strand here, and you are going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 3, and 4. But you are not going to finish off the single crochet. You are going to bring the yellow right in front, and then you are going to grab your black bobbin, and you are going to pull through to finish up like this. Once you have the black yarn incorporated, the new black yarn bobbin, you are going to place 1 single crochet in black. So you are not going to finish off. So insert in the next stitch. You are carrying the, this time you are not dropping the yellow, you are carrying the yellow yarn along. So insert and what, and pull through like this. Okay, still carrying the yellow yarn along because you are going to switch. So you are not going to finish off. We are going to yarn over and pull through with the yellow yarn, and then we are going to do an insert and pull through in the next stitch, carrying the black yarn along again. Okay, like this. So this is when you switch again to black. So you yarn over and pull through in black, still carrying the yellow along, insert and what, pull through in the next stitch. Okay, this extra strand is what you'll be crocheting over to secure. Okay, and pull through. You are going to have 2 loops, and then you finally switch to yellow, and so yarn over and pull through in yellow. And now you can drop the black by carrying your black bobbin and bringing it in front, so that color changes becomes easier and there's no tangling. So I bring it in front right here, and then I continue. I'm free to continue the next 5 stitches in yellow. So after that, you are going to continue with 1 single crochet in yellow, 2 in yellow, 3 in yellow, 4 in yellow, and what, 5. That will be the last stitch in yellow for this section before we repeat it again. Okay, so 2 loops as usual. You bring the yellow in front and then you grab your black and pull through, and then you place 1 single crochet in black in the next 3 stitches, crocheting over the extra green you cut off previously, okay, to hide in the seam. So 1, 2, by in the 3rd stitch you are not going to crochet over it, so 3, you are not going to finish off the loop, and then we are going to repeat the same thing you did here over here, which is 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches in yellow, 1 single crochet in black, 1 single crochet in yellow again, 1 single crochet in black, and 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches in yellow. Very similar to this. I'm going to meet you at the end to show you how it looks. And so this is how it's going to look after you repeat the same thing I just taught you. And then you are going to change colors, and always when there's 2 loops you're going to grab the black and place 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches in black. That is not going to change. It's going to be throughout the bottom version of this pattern. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you are not going to finish it off. However, I always try to insert back the stitch marker to make sure I'm still at the front portion. And so for the next row, which is the 2nd row for the yellow portion and the overall 6th row, okay, we are going to continue with the pattern. Okay, so we are going to grab the yellow from afar, just like how you did from the green. You know it's at the edge, you yarn over and pull through to finish up the black yarn. Okay, and then we are going to insert 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches in this yellow color. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. We are not going to finish up the 4th one. I'm going to bring the yellow right in front like this, and then you grab the next black yarn and you are going to yarn over and pull through the 2 to finish up this section, and then you bring the yellow carrying it along. You are going to insert 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches in black. So 1, you see, then the next stitch 2, and then the next stitch 3. You are not going to finish up the 2 loops. You are going to drop it and incorporate back the yellow you carried along. So yarn over and pull through, and then you are going to finish up, this time not carrying the black yarn along. Leave a line here. You are going to insert 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches in yellow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and the final one here 5. But you're not going to finish up, you're going to switch. So you drop the yellow, bring back the black, so yarn over and pull through the nearest black, and then you are going to insert 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches in black. So 1, 2, and the 3rd one 3. But you're not going to finish up, you're going to switch back to yellow because we incorporated a yellow bobbin here, so it's very far away. We are not going to work with the bobbin that you don't have to carry it along, you leave it lying. We are going to grab this part and yarn over and pull through to finish off, and then you repeat the same thing, okay, as we did at the back. 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches in yellow, you switch back to black, 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, you switch back to yellow, 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Very similar to what is we did at the back. So I'll meet you when I'm done with this portion, since it's a repetition. So after repeating the same thing we did in the front, this is how it's going to look, and always 2 loops ready to switch. And then you are going to yarn over in black and pull through the 2, insert 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, but do not finish off the last stitch. And then we are ready to switch to the next grid. So this next row is the 7th row overall and the 3rd row for the yellow portion. And so with make sure you have your 2 loops when switching off color. We are going to incorporate back our yellow yarn, and it says 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches in yellow. So you see the yellow is always far away. Bring it back here by yarning over and pulling through. You know there's always this long bar. You are going to always crochet over it, so you don't have issue with that. And then you are going to place 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Please make sure you don't skip any stitch because it can be tricky. So 1, 2, and 3. You will not finish up the 2 loops. You are going to drop the yellow. However, you are going to carry it along, so just relax. Bring this in front, and then remember this black, then immediate black incorporation. You are going to yarn over and pull through the 2 loops you left on the hook to finish it off, and insert 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches in black. So 1, we are carrying the yellow along. 2, it's a little bit tight and tricky, but force your way. 3, 4, and 5. You see, this is what you should have, okay? Leave 2 loops on the hook as usual and change back to your yellow, yarn over, pull through, bring the black right in front, and we are going to use that later, so let it lie around. And we are going to insert 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, it should be somewhere here. You shouldn't move to the black portion, or it shouldn't be lesser. So make sure you are making the right stitch, like making sure you are putting the stitches at the right place. Now we are going to switch back to black, and as usual the 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches is always constant. So yarn over, pull through, and then insert 1, don't carry the yellow yarn along, 2, and 3. You leave 2 loops lying, and then we are going to repeat the same thing we just did over at there. This qualifies at the back. So you know what to do. You grab the yellow from afar and yarn over and pull through the 2, and then you are going to place 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches in yellow, switch back to black, 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches, switch back to yellow, 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then I'll meet you. We go to our next row. So I just finished it off. I'm having the back looking just like here, and that's what matters. And for your information, you should have 4 black bobbins and 2 yellow bobbins at this moment, okay? So as I finished it off, I have my 2 loops ready to switch.